Hello students, here you can see one array, empty array is here, its name is n. So this is the sign of the array, square bracket, and these are different indices of the array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means size of the array is going to be 5. That will be one more than the last index of the array. Alright. Now students, after the creation of the array, we perform the first task inputting the data into the array n. So here is the data 5, 15, 14, 50, 23. Alright. And then we display the data of the array. So I've shown you three important tasks: the creation of the array, and then input the data into the array, and then display the data of the array n. Alright. Now we are going to discuss the very first program of the array, where I'm going to tell you how to declare, means create the array as the data member of the class, how to allocate memory, that means creation of the array, using the constructor. Alright, and after that we'll input the data, then we'll display it. And not only that, after that we are going to discuss the main function, where you will create the object of the class and then you will call different functions. Alright, so here input, display are going to be implemented through different functions. Alright, so let's start the program. To understand the program in a better way, what I have done, I have written the question here. Alright, and I have drawn a line here in between the question and the program, so that you could connect every statement of the program with the statements in the program. Alright, means this side the question, which is your program, and actually this side the code for that particular program. Okay, so here you can see, students, first we have the data member, that's an array of integer type. So I have declared it here, int n square bracket and terminated by semicolon. It's the simplest thing. Alright, what you have done, you've just copied the same thing here and you have terminated the statement with a semicolon. So that is the declaration of the array, not the creation. Alright, after that we have got the second data member, that is size, to store the size of the array. So we have just written int size semicolon. Alright, so this will contain the size, because till now I have not given any size to the array because I have not created. Size is always given when the array is created. Alright everyone. Alright, students, after that we have the member methods. The very first member method you can see here, that is num underscore array. Num underscore array, you can see, is the name of the class. So we have already we have written class num underscore array. So the same name is here. If the function has the same name as of the class, that means what it is a constructor. And since it has got a parameter, that is int sz, so definitely it is a parameterized constructor. Now students, how it can be defined, I have shown it here, public num underscore array, and in the bracket or in the parenthesis I have written int sz. Now this sz is actually going to be the size which the programmer will decide, and that will be assigned to the data member size. So just a very simple statement, size assignment operator sz semicolon. Please be careful while writing this, because many students make a mistake. They write sz on the left hand side and they the data member on the right hand side, and that is wrong. Alright, because size is the data member, and here I have to assign the value. Which value? sz. sz is what? It's a parameter which is coming from here. Alright. After that, students, this size will be used in the creation of the array. How? Let me show it to you. Here I have written n. N is what? N is the name of the array. You can see here n square bracket. So n is the name of the array. Assignment operator new int square bracket size. So this size, which has been initialized with the value of sz, now it's going to allocate memory using the new keyword. Alright, one very important thing about this thing is I have written int and then size. That means suppose I have the value of size as 5. So that means I have to allocate memory for 5 integers. One integer takes 4 bytes. So 5 into 4, 20 bytes are going to be allocated to this array. Which array? N. Alright. One more thing to be noticed, that I have not repeated a square bracket here, because that square bracket has already been used for the in the declaration. Alright, so that was there. So it's already done. So never repeat the square bracket here. Alright. So after the creation of the array, now the constructor is over. After that, now we come to a very important task, that is how to input the data into the array. So header of the function has already been given in the program, that is void input. So I've just written void input, copied the same thing. Now since we have to define the function, so we open the curly brace here. So I've opened the curly brace here, and we have to fill up the values at different index of the array. An index always begins with 0, so I have written the initialization expression, or I have given the value 0 to I. Initialization expression is int I, assignment operator 0. Alright, and we have to always move to the last index. So last index is always one less than the length or the size of the array. So I have written n dot length, but at the same time I have written less than also. Alright, so you can have n dot length here, you can have the data member size also. Alright, both the things are fine, because both are ultimately dealing with the size or having the value or the length of the array. Alright, now students, I less than n dot length. I hope this is clear to you. And then we increase I by 1, because we have to go to 0, index 0, then 1, then 2, and then 3, and so on. Alright, depending upon the size of the array. Alright, size I say, or I say length of the array, both are actually referring to the same thing. So there should not be any confusion, students. Length is already a field or an attribute of the array. It's everywhere. Whenever you want to access any array's length or size, you always use this length. And here you notice I have not written any parenthesis after length, because that is always done in the string where length is available as a function. So here it is not available as a function, it is the attribute. Alright, after that, students, we have written here the message system.out.println enter data. After enter data, I have written I plus 1. That means the value of I plus 1. Why I have done so? Because I want to give a proper message on the screen. Suppose I don't write I plus 1. So what will be there? It will have enter data 0. Does it look nice? No, it doesn't make any sense. So it's better to have it enter data 1. That means you are referring to the first element or first data element of the array. Alright, so that is the purpose. It is not modifying I at all, because I remains 0. But just for the sake of printing in a proper message, I have written I plus 1. So in the parenthesis it's been written, and now one more parenthesis, that's a closing one for the println. Due to less space, I have shifted this part of this statement to the next line, but in the examination you will be writing the entire thing, means system.out.println enter data plus I plus 1 in one line. Alright, after that, students, we have here the statement to input. So n square bracket I. So I is initially 0, so the data will be assigned to the 0th location of the array n. Alright, so sc.next int I have taken here. Alright, and this is coming through this sc. Sc is the object of the scanner. Everybody is aware of that. And for a scanner, I have already written here import java.util.asterisk semicolon. Alright, everyone. Now, students, after that, we have here public void display. But before that, I want to tell something more about it. This input function. So first, the value at the 0th index will be entered. After that, I has been increased by 1. Then n of I means I will be 0. So sorry, I will be 1. So it's going to be entered the value. The next value will be entered at the index 1. And then after that, again I will be increased by 1 through I plus plus, so it will be 2. So then the value will be entered at the index 2. All right. So this way, all the inputs means or the values for different index are going to be entered. All right. I hope everybody has a clear idea now of input operation. So after inputting the data, now we go for displaying the data. So void display is the function. I have just copied here the same thing. You can write public void display or just void display is fine, not a problem. And then how to display the data. Students, I want to tell you a very important thing. It will make things quite easier for you to learn, that I have used the same loop which has been used in the input. The same loop has been used here in the display. Why? Because what is common here, also I am moving from index 0 to the last index, because I have to enter data to all the index in a sequence. Here also I am moving from 0 to last index of the array, because I have to display the entire data stored in the array in a proper sequence. So the loops are same, and this loop is very commonly used when it comes to array. So please practice it. It will be a big help for you. Now after that, you compare input and display. So in the input function, I had written n of I, assignment operator sc dot next int parenthesis semicolon. But here in the display function, I have written the display statement system dot out dot println, and then inside that the parenthesis I have written n of I, because this time I don't have to enter the data for the n of I, but I have to display the data stored in the n of I. I hope you got it clearly. Now we have closed the for loop, and then we have closed the display loop. All right. After that, now all these operations are going to be used through an object of this class num underscore array. So we have here main function. Students, look at the main function properly. Public static void main string a or string args, as you write, you can write that as well. Whenever you write the main function, please follow the proper format. All right. Parenthesis is closed. After that, we have this object creation. So num underscore array is the name of the class, ob is the name of the object, equal to new num underscore array, and then we provide the value 10 here, that will be assigned to sz. Up there you have already seen sz. All right, this 10 will come to sz, and this sz will be assigned to size. So finally size of the array in this program is going to be 10. All right, so whatever is given in the program, you have to follow the same instruction, whatever the size they are asking for. So just go for it. Now students, here after creating the object and passing this value 10, now our array will be ready now inside the object. So we now call the input function, so ob.input, that will perform the input to the array, and then after that ob.display, it will display the data stored into the array. And then we close the main function, and finally we have closed the class definition. All right, students, please practice this program again and again, because these are the common operation which are going to be used in almost every program of the array. All right, and you can practice it in different manner also, that I have taken the array of type int. Here you can see intn. So you can change the data type to double, to long, to float, to char, even a string, and work with all different types of arrays. So automatically you will have a good practice of this, and it's quite important for you. I hope everybody has got the clear idea of this program. Each and every statement or a step is clear to you. Thanks everyone.